my business owners, my entrepreneurs, my artists, my friends, my creators out there, taking a minute here to make a quick video for you and help you through the process of modern day content creation and creating content that actually sells and moves your business and vision forward versus just spinning your wheels and trying to keep up with all these crazy trends taking over the internet nowadays. I'm going to keep this video very short, so let's dive in. First thing I want to cover is the different platforms out there. There's a bunch of different ones popping up pretty much every day, and it can get really overwhelming with all of these different options to choose from, not knowing which one is right for your business. Some of the options you might consider are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter slash X, Threads, LinkedIn, or maybe some of the other more forum-based platforms like Reddit or other forums where your customers are hanging out. The key is that your customers should be found on these platforms. But even bigger key is that before you even start posting on these platforms, you need to have the capabilities or you need to learn the skills to actually create solid and engaging content to post. So if you can't create the right content, then it's not time to start posting just yet. Let's just quickly go over some of the types of content that I'm talking about here. And that could be, short form written content, like things like tweets or a threads post, or it could be long form written content, more of a blog post, articles, informational stuff. There's also obviously short form video content, which is really popular nowadays. That's things like shorts, reels, TikTok, all of that. And then there's long form video content such as YouTube videos, demoing your products, a million different things with long form content you can get into, as well as the old school just photos and or graphics, which go along with some of the other content, depending on whether it's photos to go along with your written content or doing things like posting carousels of photos and videos together on Instagram or other platforms. All of these are different types of content that you can create, but you want to, once again, do what you can do well. One thing to remember here is that you don't have to be on every platform and you don't have to be posting every type of content. In fact, for most people, you probably shouldn't be doing everything under the sun because it's going to take away from you being really good at one thing and make you kind of mediocre at a bunch of different things, which is something you want to avoid. But with that being said, there is a lot of content overlap where you can share one piece of content to multiple different platforms just by changing up how you format it and changing up the way that it looks a little bit, and then you can get the absolute most out of each piece of content you create. So like I said, we're going to keep it really simple, and that is boiling everything down to two key questions that you can ask yourself with every piece of content you create. The first question is, who is this piece of content for? And this should be very specific, so you should be able to specifically state the exact person who this content is for, and that should be one of your key customer personas. They should align perfectly so that you're speaking directly to who you know is your key customer with that piece of content. And the second piece of this is, what does this content drive this person to do? So you should know who that person is, and now you have to figure out what does the content drive them to do and what specific action does it encourage them to take. So this is your call to action, and this is what is actually going to drive your business, because there's so much content out there nowadays where it doesn't encourage you to do anything and it doesn't encourage any action to be taken. And when you don't encourage people to go ahead and buy your product or try out your service or whatever it is you want them to do, then they're not going to do it. And for the purpose of keeping this extremely simple, I want you to go ahead and try to just start nailing those two key things. There's obviously a lot more that we can get into, which we're going to in future videos, but those are really the key things that I see people missing at, is being able to answer those two key questions with every piece of content that's going out for your business. Let me just include a couple of other things to consider here that are going to help you in your content journey. The first of those things is that the editing quality and the quality of overall of your content, whether that's writing, whether it's video, the quality is important, and that there are so many people out there producing content nowadays that it has to be actually good content to stand out. You can't just say, hey, we're producing content, it's not working, but your content is terrible. Well, that's why it's not working. It's because your content, it doesn't meet the quality that it needs to meet to actually be convincing and actually help your customers move along your customer journey and buy your product or service. The other thing is that consistency is still key, and you have to do this over a period of time. You can't just start out and expect results instantly. Same with any other thing in your business. You got to build it up and you got to be consistent with it. You got to stick to your plan and continuously improve and adapt over time. So one way to help with this is to make sure your content's scheduled out at least, I would say, 1 to 4 weeks in advance. This will prevent you from having that feeling of like urgency and frustration when you're like, I need to come up with a great idea for a piece of content right now because I didn't post anything today. You don't want to be in that place. So try to get your content scheduled out in advance, and then that will give you a little bit more time to prepare. And when those ideas do come to you, you can list them off, write them down in your list of content that you want to create. And then when you're creating content, you'll know exactly what to do. You'll have those ideas written down. You can get those scheduled out into the future. The last thing that I want to remind you of, and this is critically important, is to remember why you're creating content in the first place. If you have a business, ideally your business solves a problem for a customer and makes their lives easier in some way or helps them reach their ideal state of being. And so your content should help facilitate this process. Your content is helping a customer along their journey and ultimately helping people with their problems. So you can think about content in this way as far as how it's actually moving customers forward in their journey as well as helping your business reach your goals in your journey. And you want to be crystal clear about this. You are a business and your content should promote people engaging with your business in the way that you want them to. So many people are scared to ask for the sale or encourage people to take action. And I don't think you need to do that. You don't need to be pushy about it, but you can certainly help them solve their problems in the way that your business allows them to. While you're doing all of this, it's important to also track the KPIs that measure these results. So you want to be able to measure your business results through your content and know, what are the end goals of this piece of content or this campaign? How do we measure them in a way that aligns with our business? And then that allows you to evaluate your content on a much deeper level and ultimately make the changes and adjustments that you need to make down the road so that you can keep getting better at this and have content become a significant driver in your business growth. Because as always, that's the end goal, to help you achieve your business goals and ultimately live out your life's vision. That's all we've got for you today. But if you need any help with this along the way, I'm Nick. I'm a marketing coach with Flow Nexus, and I can help you get where you need to go. So I'll leave my information here if you want to reach out at any point. Otherwise, please leave a comment with your thoughts on all of this and or anything that has worked for your business as far as content goes, because the chances are this information is going to be really helpful to someone else. So leave a comment below, like the video, and subscribe if you'd like to catch me in the next video for more marketing advice. All right, now get off YouTube, go out and crush it.